I'm so happy to be with you. I look forward to it so much. It's Thursday. We have established Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the importance of words, mouth, tongue, how it's connected to the heart, the spirit. The Bible says in John, God is a spirit, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Jesus said to his disciples, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18:21. Okay, today we're going to cut to the chase. I promised that we were going to talk about speaking in tongues. Speaking in tongues. Here we go. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Okay, 1 Corinthians chapter 14. This chapter, more than any other, explains about the phenomenon, the action of speaking in tongues. So let's take a good look at it, starting with verse 1. Pursue love, yet earnestly desire spiritual gifts, but especially that you may prophesy. Prophecy is speaking. Speaking. For one who speaks in a tongue does not speak to men, but to God. You're not speaking to men, to other people. You are speaking to God. When you speak in tongues, on the day of Pentecost, the 120 were speaking in tongues. They were speaking to God. They weren't speaking to men, even though people understood what they were saying. For no one understands him, but in his spirit he speaks mysteries. When you are speaking in tongues, it comes out of the heart, your spirit. It is a spiritual language, not to men, but to God. You are speaking mysteries. Got it? You're not speaking to other people. You're speaking mysteries to God. But one who prophesies in your own language speaks to men for edification, to build up, exhortation, come on, we can do it, and consolation. Take heart, I'm with you, I'm for you. Verse 4. One who speaks in a tongue edifies himself. If I prophesy in English, I can edify, comfort, and exhort someone else. If I speak in tongues, it says, I edify myself. One who prophesies edifies the church. Prophecy goes out. Tongues builds and edifies myself. Don't you want to do that? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to build yourself up? Why do people pay so much money to go to the gym and fight gravity by pushing heavy objects? You're trying to build yourself up, build up your muscles. Hey, listen, I'm on my bike a half hour, 3 times a week. Cardiovascular fitness. I understand that. It's good for you to do too. So, verse 5, Paul speaking. Now I wish that you all spoke in tongues, but even more that you would prophesy. Greater is the one who prophesies than the one who speaks in tongues, unless he interprets. So when we read 1 Corinthians chapter 12, there's the gift of tongues, there's the gift of interpretation of tongues. Together, it's the same as prophecy. So if I speak in tongues only, I'm speaking mysteries, I'm building myself up. If I speak in tongues, a message to others that gets interpreted, it builds up the church. Strengthen myself, strengthen others. Got it? Do you see that? He that speaks in an unknown tongue edifies himself. He's not speaking to men. You're speaking mysteries to God. It's a spiritual language. It comes from the heart, from your spirit. That's it. Look down in verse 15. 1 Corinthians 14:15. Chapter 14, verse 15. This is after talking about tongues and prophecy. What is the outcome then? Considering tongues, interpretation of tongues, and prophecy. What is the outcome? I shall pray with the Spirit. That's your heart. You pray with your spirit. And then it says, I shall pray with the mind also. Now listen, I was a language professor for 24 years. The speech center is in our brain. It's in our brains. That's why the language from the heart is supernatural. It's not the same. I shall sing with the Spirit, and I will sing with the mind also. It's not either or, it's both. You pray with the Spirit, you pray with the mind. You sing with the Spirit, you sing with the mind. Okay? Good enough? It's not an exclusive club. It isn't. At the end of the chapter, just wrap it up. Put a bow on it. Therefore, my brethren, my brothers, desire earnestly to prophesy. Words in your own language from God to comfort, edify, and exhort. And do not forbid to speak in tongues. 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 Don't forbid to speak in tongues. It's the spiritual language from your heart. You speak mysteries to God. It says in that chapter, let him that speaks in an unknown tongue pray that he may interpret. Hoorah!